So obviously this is another episode of Technically Speaking with your boy, Mr. Harden, and I've got a special guest with me, none other than the GOAT that is Cairo Sharn. So let's go. Obviously, what we've got to do first is disclaimer, because we don't want any of you looking at this technical analysis and then going, oh yeah, this was I got told to buy this stock. So disclaimer and terms and conditions. All our content is for education, information, and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice or recommendation to buy, sell, hold any assets, or place any trades. Please do your own research. Our content is intended and should only be used for informational use. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment, which should be based on your own individual circumstances. You should always take independent professional advice from a professional advisor or independently research and verify all and any information you may find in our show that you wish to rely upon, whether you wish to make an investment decision or otherwise. All investments do, in fact, come with risk. So please do your own research. We are not financial advisors and do not intend to be perceived or received as financial advisors. However, we are working in collaboration with several accredited advisors. So if you're unable to mitigate your risk, then please contact us immediately so we can refer you to an accredited financial advisor. So let's get into it. Can you see my screen, Cairo? Is it showing the Coinbase stock?
No, I can't see the Coinbase stock. It's still on the
Still on the disclaimer. Let me do it again.
Yeah.
Okay, what about now?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, cool. So I thought I would start here, just because this is the hot stock, in my opinion. This is the stock that is going to have the biggest impact on the market, the biggest impact on crypto. And I personally think there's more gains to be made on this than there is on Bitcoin. Why do I say that? I say that because the all-time high is right here at IPO price at 445. We are currently here just at this crazy resistance at 80. So to the top two, that all-time high would be 457%. Now, for Coinbase to do that, it doesn't, for Bitcoin to move 400%, it's going to need like 500 billion to maybe a trillion to pour into it, which isn't as likely as Coinbase going up to where it was when it IPO'd. So that's my basis for that. However, I am expecting a pullback. We're on the daily at the moment, but you can see the RSI is peaking here. We've got some key levels here on the RSI. So I would expect a pullback on this. And then we also have this resistance just sitting at the top here on Coinbase. So we can see this is a multi-month resistance. So if we go to the weekly, we see it a little bit better. This resistance has been here since September 2022. Got hit again here, got hit again here. So this could be setting up for a big breakout. So what's going to happen here, in my opinion, a lot of people are going to expect, yes, again, we're going to get hit by this resistance. But what could happen is once this breaks through, I'm expecting this kind of movement, like a breakthrough, pull back, retest the support, and then from there, go up to this area here of at least 218. So for a while, we've been saying Coinbase stock was massively undervalued. And just based on the fundamentals of when you read the earnings report, it's an incredible stock. Now that BlackRock are going to be doing a Bitcoin spot ETF, and they're going to be doing that via Coinbase, it just gives even more credibility to it. So let's just have a quick look at the bigger macro play of what's happening with the markets. So we will start off with, where is it? Start off with VTI. So again, a lot of people wonder, why do we look at this when we are mainly interested in crypto? Because all markets are linked and all money is most definitely linked. Vanguard being worth several trillion, I think it's important to know what their inflows and outflows are, and how their one of the biggest stocks that holds almost $1 trillion worth of value in it is performing. So we can see there's a bit of a downtrend here. This is the key resistance level, and again, we've got quite a high RSI there, where I'm expecting a bit of a potential pullback on this. But again, we could get a breakout. Now, the reason I'm not expecting a pullback anytime soon, unless something crazy happens while Joe Biden is in London, then I'm expecting us to just break out and carry on and get to these highs here to 244. So I'm expecting a really bullish market unless we get a black swan event, which is something random happening. But the cards are aligned for something random to happen, like I just said. So let's just that's yeah, the Vanguard Total World Stock Index there. So let's go and look at the VIX. As we know, if the VIX is up, then the market tends to be down, and if the VIX is down, then the markets tend to be up. So when we're looking at our key VIX levels, we haven't quite got down to the trim and parabolic take profit levels. So there is still space, as we can see if we go back in time and we look at the 2018 market, there is still plenty of space for the markets to go higher and to get a little bit more frothy. However, we can see that it has surged down and it's just taken a bit of a breather and bounce back up, but I expect it to hit around here and then to carry on going down and the markets to carry on getting higher and higher. So that's on that. Oh, sorry. Oh, God, sneeze.
Bless you.
Thank you. So that's on the VIX. So let's now go and look at the S&P 500 and see how that's holding up. So this is the S&P 500. As we can see, absolutely storming away. Like this shape, this pattern doesn't even look like the S&P 500. It looks like a crypto chart. Yeah. This is the S&P 500, which has been putting in gains of 15% over the last more or less 90 days, which is crazy.
How come? What has been the biggest factor for this?
The biggest factor is just, I would say, AI. I think a lot of investors have got a bit bullish because they're a bit like, oh yeah, AI is going to change the world. AI is going to do this.
Yeah.
That's one of the bigger macro factors. And then the other biggest macro factor is heading up into a new presidential run. When there's a new presidential run, the markets tend to do really well. Why? Because if a president wants to stay in power, then the markets kind of need to look a little bit good. If the markets are down, then that's a great reason to get rid of the current president or prime minister or whoever it is that's election. But again, yeah. So that's why American stocks now for the next year should be pretty stable. It's very unlikely, in my opinion, that we're even going to see 5% drawdowns. So I think maybe we'll pull back to here, to this 2% level here, where there's, and again, if you look at it on the S&P, there's such a really nice resistance here that became a new support. So for me, it would make sense. Any breathers back from this RSI being at 74, pulling back, we will probably pull back to 4378 or 4303. I do not expect it to get as low as this here, 4048. That would be pretty wild if we did. But again, beautiful chart pattern. You can see it here, double bounce and shoot up. And then you also, for those of you that know the 10-20 rule, you can see a nice little action point was there, suggesting that it was go time on that. So let's now go, and again on the 200 moving average, we went above that really nicely. So let's now go from here and let's go and look at, should we look at Bitcoin now, or should we look at another macro mover? Yeah, let's look at another macro mover. Let's look at the dollar index, DXY. And as we know, as the dollar goes up, it affects the market. Why? Because it makes imports, exports, the costs of goods more expensive on an international world stage. But we can see right now on the 10-20, this is looking like there's a potential crossover at the moment. And it's looking like the dollar should be coming down. And as we've seen before, when the dollar gets to these levels here, anything below the 100 mark sends the markets absolutely parabolic. So let's see if we get anything like that anytime soon. We are below the 200 day moving average, so I would expect the dollar to carry on falling down. Let's see what happens when we get to this area here of 100.981. We might get a little bounce up because it's really nice support, but I think it should break below that there. But yeah, let's see what happens with that. So now going on to the cryptos, we'll go and look at our good friend Mr. Bitcoin. Mr. Bitcoin, oh, you can see my analysis on this one's a bit crazy. Let's go to a different Bitcoin now. I've got a different Bitcoin chart. Okay, cool. So again, just following the golden rule of the 200-day moving average crossover. If you got in at 19 when it crossed over the $200 moving out 200-day moving average, you are in a very good place now. Very simple rule. The moment something goes above the 200-day moving average, stay in it. The moment it goes below that, get out. So you'd be 60% up on Bitcoin right now. And then again, for those that know the more advanced rules with the 1020, we can again see there was a clear signs that we're on a bullish run. You can see that it's pulled back now, and it's pulled back to this support line and also to the 1020 line. Now, there's normally 3 waves that we get with these kind of moves. Let's see if we can spot 3 waves. So wave 1. Oh, actually, there's kind of almost 3 waves already.
Yeah, we're halfway into the 3rd one, aren't we?
Yeah, so here's 1, 2, 3. So this is a key action point now to see what happens. So we could carry on going higher, but let's just see what happens if we pull a fib on this.
It looks like it's actually losing a bit of momentum there as well.
Yeah, just a little bit. I'm gonna go to, where's the highest point on this? Highest point is here. Lowest point is here. Okay, cool. So we're expecting 1618 is at 40,000 is where it's looking like we could get to. So let's just mark in these key fib levels from now so that we can say that we marked them off. We'll do it dotted. And when we come back to this, these are the levels that we're expecting pullbacks at.
Yeah, this is next level analysis, man.
Cool. So let's see what happens with that. And we get rid of this now. Oh. There. Okay, let's see what happens. I think I might have missed one of the fibs, then I might have just deleted one on accident, but we'll get the gist when we come back to look at it anyway. So let's go and look at another key crypto. Let's go and look at ETH. So again, when we look at ETH, let's go to the weekly time frame first. So ETH is looking absolutely beautiful. We can see that when we look at it from a Wyckoff perspective, there's a clear accumulation zone here, like absolutely clear as day. Sideways movement, clearly some whale has been accumulating because this thing is going sideways as hell. So that would suggest to me that there's a big whale accumulating here. It's been trying to keep it below this 1879 price. We had a trade going on from here from 1593 up to 3591, which is a previous resistance level. Still expecting that because we, again, if you follow the golden rule, are we over the, oh, that's the 200 week. Let's go to the 200 day. We've been over the 200 day for quite some time now, since 1,400. Again, the 1020s proving quite reliable again throughout. Expecting a pullback to this area here, because that would be slap bang where the support would be and the 200-day moving average would be. So expecting that right there. Key level there to watch out for is 1701. I think that worked out to be. But the moving average is at 1706. So look out for that level there. If it breaks below that, it might do a little fake breakout down to this level here, 1601, and then carry on moving upwards. However, there is, again, if you look, a bit of a clear resistance there. Just mark that in. So expect maybe some rejections here as well. So that's on that. So let's go and look at our good friend gold. Gold has been moving absolutely crazy.
Gold is my best friend. I really love gold, man. It's been insane.
Gold has hit this resistance again recently in the last couple of weeks, since the 4th of May. I've been calling this resistance on gold for quite a while. It's hit it again, and it's now pulling back. I'm expecting it to pull back to the 200 moving average, and then when it does, I'm expecting some parabolic moves to the upside off that bounce. So that would be 1868 is a key area to watch. Congratulations to anyone that got into that trade that we called in November. You are now up 19-1 on that trade. Well done. On that one, that's a big money mover, that one. So that's gold moving. Obviously, gold doesn't move up that much percent, but if you're doing the right pips, you caught a bit of a bagger. So 16% move on gold, which is crazy. And then let's just go to the weekly just to double check. Yeah, we can see RSI topped out there really nicely, pulled back. 1020 cross here. That's when we said definitely good time to get in. Apart from that, yeah, I would just wait and see and watch this one carefully on the weekly before making any drastic moves. I'd look out for a crossover, but definitely this key area here that we've marked off of 1868 is one to look out for. So let's go and look at the total crypto indexes. So the total crypto market, how's that looking? Again, is above the 200-day moving average, so suggesting that crypto in general was good to accumulate from January 2023. Again, if anyone followed that and followed the other rules, 10-20 rules, you would have been in a nice position now. Most crypto is above anything in 2023. You can see there's a bit of a support here, a bit of a really subtle one. It's quite hard to see, but it is there. The $1.3 trillion mark. But it's crazy to think that it's got back to 1.3 trillion, considering at the start of 2023, it was down here at 752 billion. So that is a crazy amount of money that's come into crypto very, very subtly and very, very quietly, and no one's even noticed. So that is over the last 202 days, that's 454 billion that has been injected into crypto with a volume of 14.862 trillion over the 200 days. That's pretty wild. And again, if you look down here, you can see that clear accumulation zone that I've been talking about that you'll see multiple times on charts before it does a parabolic run. Look at that. Clear accumulation, clearly trying to keep it below the 837 mark. And then it ran up. But then I'd say we're in another accumulation zone here and here. So, and again, we're above the 200-day moving average and it's bounced here. So let's see where it goes. Now, again, we have to look at this in further detail. We have to look at a total free, because total is including Bitcoin. And we don't want to include Bitcoin in our thesis because Bitcoin drags the market anyway. So this is the altcoins, you things like your Polkadot, like your Cardano, so on and so forth. When we look at this, can you get a more beautiful trend line than this? I don't think so. I don't think so. That's as clear as day. The RSI was at buy me. If you don't buy crypto now, you're crazy levels. And that was here. RSI got down to 22. That was the 10th, 20th of June. These areas here. And again, bit of a clear support here. Do I think we're going to get back down to these levels? If we cross this 200 day, I don't think so. I think that's it. That's the last time you're going to see altcoins at the prices that you're seeing them at now. I think you've got probably, people have got probably another month, if that, until the end of July. However, the markets are normally down in July, the stock market. So let's see how that actually plays out. So last thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to go through some major cryptos, go through like 4 or 5 of them. So we'll have a look at DOT, because we all love a bit of Polkadot. Again, support line, again, resistance here from the 200 moving average. If we crack that, we're off to the races. But Polkadot for the last, God knows how long, has been struggling to get past the $5 to $6 mark. Again, I think this might be an accumulation zone, but it's been hidden very, 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 very well. But if you understand the fundamentals of Polkadot and understand how important it is, you'll see what I'm seeing. Now, it's only when you go to the weekly and you condense the time frame that you can see, hang on a minute, this looks like a clear accumulation zone here. I don't know if you can see that, Cairo.
It's hovering over that support line that I can see there.
Yeah, so the accumulation zone is when you get like a box movement like this.
Yeah.
So that's clearly, that looks to me like institutional buying.
Yeah, and it's not so much a downtrend because there's not higher highs or lower lows. Like it's very, like
yeah,
there's minimal movement in the market there.
Yeah, so that for me is institutional buys. So let's see what happens from here. Again, even on the weekly, the 1020 is not really showing us much. It's got the potential to do a crossover very, very soon. And if it does, boy, we're off to the races on Polkadot. On the daily, it has crossed. Please note that. Yeah, I would just watch out for Polkadot at $5. I think that's a screaming level to watch out for. $5.72 on Polkadot. Where it would go to from there, I'm expecting at least $18 from there, and then potentially all the way up to $96, potentially even $212. So yeah, Polkadot could do some craziness. Polkadot could easily do 3,900%, which I'm glad to be on record to say that. So you can see if this is accumulation zone, anyone that's been dollar cost averaging or accumulating with whichever whales have been accumulating since June 2022. So that's 1 year's worth of accumulation to then go up 3,000%. Boy, in the money. So yeah, let's look at Cardano. Cardano absolutely getting crushed and destroyed here. On the daily, below the 200 moving average. It's just not really showing any bullish signs on this one. But who knows, things could change dramatically. And because people demand that we talk about it, let's talk about XRP. So there was a short that I did on XRP that would have got down to 0.2993. I'm now very bullish on XRP. We are above the 200-day moving average. We've got a really clear support building up just here. It's a bit wonky because it is XRP. It's just tapped out a little bit just there. But again, you can see that it is there. Got our cross there, came down. Don't know what to say on this one, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't know what to say on this one. It's just been getting smashed, and it's not really an accumulation zone either. But where the highs that I could see this going to, if it is going anywhere, as you can see, I've got $5, $9, $13, $29 on my price levels on XRP. At each of those levels, I'm going to be selling some of my position. So let's see what that would be from here up to $13. Again, 2,000% gains to be made there. Now, this is why I highlight that in comparison to Bitcoin, because for Bitcoin to get you 1,000% gains, you're asking for a bit of a crazy miracle. For Bitcoin to get you 1,000% gains, even 600% gains, it's got to get up to like 260,000, which is wild. So 1,000% gains on Bitcoin from here, you're looking at 360,000 for one Bitcoin, which, yeah, that's just not very likely. So yeah, that's my piece on that one. So yeah, Bitcoin's good for a long term hold, but if you're trying to make astronomical gains like I am, it's all about the alts right now. And again, you can see here we've had a nice retest of Litecoin, so I would watch Litecoin for the next 48 hours. Let's see some of these price levels. Nice support, came up to here, pulled back to here, and let's see what it does. Potential for Litecoin to get all the way up to $233 from where it is, but I'm expecting probably $147 from where we are right now, and then a bit of a big rejection. So let's just whack that in there. Cool. So that is pretty much everything for today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed that. Yeah, that's me done. Cairo, is anything you wanted me to look at or any analysis you wanted to share?
No, I think that was great insight. Definitely great to see and witness.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you for everyone who's watched or tuned in. You know who it is. It's your boy, Mr. Hardin, blockchain sensei, accompanied by none other than Cairo.